You know, we spend so much of our lives looking for answers, right? We read books, we ask experts, we scroll for hours online. But what if the biggest, most powerful solutions aren't out there at all? What if they're actually deep inside us, just waiting for us to find them? Today, we're going to dive into a pretty fascinating method that claims to give us the key to what it calls the superconscious mind.
So, it all starts with this one simple, but honestly pretty profound question. What if the answer to your biggest problem, the really big one, is already inside you? That challenge you're stuck on at work, that personal goal that just feels impossible. The material we're looking at today suggests the solution is way, way closer than you think.
Okay, so if this incredible wisdom is inside us, how in the world do we get to it? Well, according to the source, it's not about learning a bunch of complicated techniques. Nope. It's all about one single, super powerful approach. This is what it calls the master method. And the source material doesn't mess around here. It introduces this idea with just incredible confidence, saying, here is the most powerful of all. That really sets the stage, right? It's hinting at something that's supposed to be both profoundly simple and, for most of us in our crazy busy lives, something we completely overlook.
And there it is. Solitude. Yep, that's it. No complicated mantras, no expensive weekend retreats, nothing like that. The master method, the one key to unlocking all this inner genius, is just the simple, ancient practice of being by yourself, but in a very, very specific way.
So we know the what is solitude, but the how is just as important, if not more so. This isn't just about, hiding in your room for a bit. There's a real discipline to it. It's all about learning exactly how to go silent. And this is where it gets super practical. The whole thing is broken down into 4 really clear steps. Step 1, just sit quietly by yourself. Easy enough, right? Step 2, you gotta commit to it for 30 to 60 minutes. Step 3, and this one is absolutely non-negotiable, it has to be in complete silence. And finally, step 4. The goal here isn't to think harder or to force an answer. It's simply to listen for what the source calls the still, small voice within.
And listen, when they say silence, they mean silence. The author is super strict about this. We're not talking about just quiet. We're talking about the total absence of any stimulation. That means no coffee, no background music, no phone, no distractions of any kind. You just sit. The whole idea is to strip away every single layer of external noise so you can finally, maybe for the first time, hear that internal signal.
All right, so let's say you actually do this. You follow all the rules. What happens? You're not just sitting there getting bored for an hour, right? No, there's a very specific internal process that this method claims is going to unfold. Let's dig into what actually happens in that silence.
This timeline just lays it out perfectly. Think of it like a journey your mind goes on. For the first, say, 25 minutes, your mind is settling down. All that chatter, the mental to-do lists, the worries, they all just start to fade away. Then, right around that 30-minute mark, something kind of magical is supposed to happen. Your mind goes clear. And it's in that wide-open space of pure clarity that you get what the source calls the wham moment. The perfect answer just arrives. Bam, fully formed.
So what does that wham moment actually feel like? Well, the source describes a pretty distinct sequence of events. First, your mind goes completely, beautifully clear. Then, a flow of ideas just starts to pour in, almost effortlessly. You actually feel this energy start welling up inside you, and then, at just the right time, the perfect answer lands. It's described as this moment of absolute, undeniable insight.
But hold on, getting the answer, that's actually only half the battle. And this part is so important. That amazing insight is pretty much useless if you don't do anything with it. And this source is crystal clear that there is one final, perfect step you absolutely must take.
And before we get to that last step, just check out the claim that's being made here, 100%. The source says this method works 100% of the time, for any problem, any goal. That's an incredibly bold claim, and it's all completely dependent on you actually completing this final part of the process.
And here it is, the final, critical instruction. Act immediately. The moment you get that flash of insight, you are supposed to get up and start carrying it out. No second guessing, no procrastination, no, I'll think about it and start tomorrow. The mandate is to act on it, right then, right there.
So why is that immediate action so important? Because the promise is that if you get up and you carry out that answer, it will turn out to be exactly perfect. The action is what makes the insight real. It's the step that turns a brilliant idea into an actual, real-world result.
So, there you have it, the entire method from start to finish. A simple path that leads from silence to insight and then to action. It's a really powerful idea, isn't it? And it leaves all of us with one final question to think about. Your perfect answer is waiting. Are you ready to listen?